This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent podcast hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. We mash up our 3-minute videos from the previous week, all with tips on how to be ridiculously amazing at insurance sales, retention, processes, marketing, running in an agency, and time management. If you want them daily, like us on social media as they're posted. But let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm here talking a little bit about the recap we had for the week, and just a friendly reminder, it's actually one of the final days to get our cross-selling course. It ends at the end of the month. We'll be ending our special at $495, go up to $1,000, or you can subscribe in our school, get all of our courses for $245 a month. And we went through really 4 ways to cross-sell, and we're going to break them down in this video, which is cross-selling on new business, cross-selling at renewal, cross-selling on inbound service calls, and making outbound calls. So there's 4 ways to cross-sell. We think every agency should have a strategy for each one. So hopefully you'll watch these mashup videos and get your strategy. All right, our first strategy is cross-selling at new business. We love the 4 and score methodology, which is think about 4 lines of business on every new prospect that comes in. Now, is it possible 100% of the time? No, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't go in there with that mindset. And that's what you're going to learn in this 3-minute video. Hey everyone, Kelly Donahue-Piro here, and we're still in our how to cross-sell phase because we've launched our brand new course on how to cross-sell insurance, available to purchase for $495. You own it forever until the end of the month, or you could subscribe to our school and get cross-selling, reducing remarketing, sales, renewal reviews, time management, all for $245 a month. So you either get like the Netflix model or you get the buy it outright model, your choice. And after the end of the month, that cross-selling course will go up to $1,000. So take advantage of it while you can. But we're going to talk this week about 4 ways to cross-sell. And the first way is at new business. Second way is at renewal. Third way is when people call in. And the 4th way is to make an intention just to call those Monoline clients. So for today's video, we're going to talk all about how to take new business and cross-sell it. So by far, cross-selling on new business is your biggest opportunity because nothing's been screwed up yet. Now, I'm not saying your agency screws up anything, so don't go sending a whole bunch of hate mail to me. What we want to think about instead is the idea that there's been no billing issues, no inspection problems. There's been no other agents, trying to win them over, no rate increases. And so what you need to be thinking of is, can I get all this information at the point of sale? And one thing in our course we really drill in is the concept of, do you have any policies with other agents? And asking that question on every new piece of business is absolutely critical because this helps crack open what's going on in the world. So they might say, I have my life insurance here, I have 2 investment properties. You don't know if you don't ask. I often find we keep tunnel vision in insurance and we think home and auto, workers' comp, GL, as opposed to really stopping for a moment and looking at the entire picture. Let the client tell you what they have. You may be surprised because you don't have a crystal ball to know that they have an RV and, a boat and this and that and the next thing. So if you ask that question, you're going to help cross-sell. We also go over in the course 4 and score, which is the idea and the mentality, the mindset that we're going to be looking at 4 policies for every single client. And if we can get to 4 policies for every single client, at least educating them, informing them, quoting them, and selling them, that's the holy grail of retention as well. But it starts with a mindset to go into every policy, identifying them. So your first goal is to know what policies people have. Your second goal is to get them to let you quote them. And if you can't, at least gather an X date so that way you know when to go after them, or at least even an idea of an X date. Maybe you don't have to go down to the minute, but most people buy boats when it's nice to go boating. So if they don't know the actual time, that's it. So take a look at that front. The final thing that we want to kind of go over with, cross-selling at the point of sale is documenting it. Because one of 2 things is going to happen. Either you need to have an activity for the salespeople to follow up, or if your agency does renewal review calls, it will trigger them at the renewal review call to bring up that policy and try to attract it to the agency then. So we have to get out of the idea of a monoline business for new business. In fact, Many agencies have put a stop on writing monoline business because some carriers putting a lot of pressure on agencies.
So why not get everything we can up front, maximize the discounts, save time, save money. They're calling you for a reason at that new business point of sale. Let's make sure we take that reason and convert it into some opportunity. Remember, an opportunity can be educating, grabbing that next date, to quoting, to selling, to binding. But if your agency is practicing what we preach in this course, you're going to have a whole plan of cross-selling forever and ever and ever, so that you don't have to worry so much about, are we cross-selling, are we cross-selling? So that's our strategy for you here today. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Check out that course. Can't say enough about it. It's a core foundation of agencies is cross-selling. Let us give you the plan that you need. We'll see you in the next video.
Our next tip on going ahead and cross-selling is at renewal. So agencies handle renewals in a variety of different ways. Our recommended method is renewal review calls. It gives you a nice space to cross-sell. But if you're not, we have tips and tricks for you on if you call people at a certain rate increase, if you call everybody, if you call no one and wait and see. But there is a big way to help clients save money if they combine and cross-sell at the point of sale or at the renewal. And that's what we want to talk to you about in this video. Hey everyone, so on our pursuit to keep talking about cross-selling, one of the things we want to talk about today is, there's 4 kind of intervals in an agency that you can cross-sell. So cross-selling at the point of sale, new business, cross-selling at renewal, which is what we're going to talk about today. We've got cross-selling on inbound service calls and then outbound calls to Monoline customers. So for the renewal side, I really want to break it down into a few different options for you. We are incredibly strong proponents of renewal review calls, which if you subscribe to our school, you get our cross-selling course, which is what we're talking about for the next few weeks, as well as renewal calls, time management, our sales training, how to reduce remarketing, how to convert inbound calls into some form of opportunity. We've got all sorts of great stuff in there. So that's included if you're interested. Now, renewal calls are like penicillin for insurance agencies. You get contact information, reduce E&O, cross-sell, improve coverage. You build the relationship with clients. It literally gives you a vehicle as service line protection gets added to client to carriers, an opportunity to talk about it. So it solves every major problem an insurance agency has. But for the first 60 days, it's pretty hard to get up and running, and that's okay. We can do hard things, right? So if you're doing renewal review calls, this is a huge time to cross-sell. And we like to say, your first step is getting contact information, explaining the call. Second step is getting updates on everything. And your third step is recommendations. And your recommendations could be to improve coverage, to make it up to agency standard at least or higher, as well as other lines of coverage you recommend. So by doing this, you're either going to get the opportunity to quote or at least plant the seed. So renewal review calls give you an opportunity not just to target Monoline, but to really reach out to everybody, find other policies you don't know about as well. So one of the questions we like to ask is, do you have any other policies with other agents? Maybe you've got investment properties, or there's a toy out there we don't know, or you own another company that we're not aware of. These not only help strengthen your coverage, but also give you a big opportunity. So the next step is, if you're not doing renewal review calls and you're totally against them, hey, I get it. We have our beliefs on them. You can have yours. Is some agencies call people who go up a certain percentage. So a dollar amount or a percentage increase in premium. This is an opportunity to definitely target those monolines. We get pretty fierce on the idea that you can't hold a standard of we're not going to remarket you unless we take a look at the other line. The reason that's so powerful is you at least get to look at it. They don't maybe have to bind coverage, but it is kind of a holding a standard. When there's a standard that the team can hold and it's coming from the agency, sometimes it's a little bit easier to communicate. They don't feel as bad or guilty saying, hey, I can't remarket you because XYZ. So that is one definite option. Your third option at renewal is just people who call you. And people who call you to go over their renewal, whether it be in E&S or in commercial lines, you have to talk to them, or personal lines because they just have some questions. You always want to take the step to review and make recommendations. They're calling you, it's renewal time. Let's plant that seed, get next date, or get the opportunity to quote and move forward. So renewal represents a time where people are thinking about their insurance, which is why it's a great time to do those renewal review calls. Now, you could just do renewal review calls just to your Monoline clients to try to get that other line. There's no shortage of ways to do it. The idea, though, is that at renewal, we need to have our eyes wide open for those opportunities and use some of the scripts that we're going to talk about in our course on how to go ahead and educate people. You learned last week in our 3-minute videos about our LEE principle. LEE is look, educate, and encourage. So at a renewal, you have to look at the renewal some way, somehow, whether they're calling you or it's a list or you're doing renewal review calls, you're looking at it. Then when we talk to the person, we have to do the education part, not selling, educating them. There's a policy that's missing, a discount that's missing, or they're spending too much time on their insurance for our friends in coastal areas. The final part is encourage. When they decline, I really want to encourage you to take another look at this. Not saying you have to buy it, this, that, the next thing, just something that you take seriously. We forget how our recommendations to clients, when we roll over and say, okay, they don't think it's that important. But if we say, encourage you to take another look, people do take that second look and realize the importance of it. So that's our philosophy at Renewals. We have a whole section in our new course that's only available at our discounted price of $495 until the end of July. So if you're interested in it all, after that'll go up to $1,000, or you can subscribe in our school and get all this and more for $245 a month. So take a look. We love cross-selling. We know it's a skill that everybody needs help on. So we're going to talk tomorrow about how to cross-sell on inbound service calls. I'll see you in that video.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly Donahue-Piro here, and we're so excited because we're launching our next online course, which is all on how to cross-sell. And we're going to take cross-selling from new business to renewal to inbound service calls, and even there might be a bonus section in there on outgoing calls if you want to make proactive outgoing calls. We've got all sorts of stuff in here, from role-playing videos to scripts to outlines. It's just a really robust course, and we confront a lot of false beliefs that hold us back from hitting our cross-selling potential. So if cross-selling is on your mind, this is the course for you. You've got 2 ways to get it. The first way is you can subscribe to our online school. We have sales training, renewal review call training, time management, how to reduce remarketing, and how to turn inbound calls into opportunity, all in that school. So it's kind of like you get access to everything. And any course we launch in the future, you also get access to. So that's a huge opportunity. Or you can buy just this one course outright. We're doing it as a special for $495. That is only good till the end of July. So you'll get that until July 31st, 2021. After that, it'll go up to $995. You can buy that at any time in our store, but it will be there. So if you're interested, let's get on it. Let's get it today. Help your team cross-sell with a plan. I know a lot of times agencies will say, oh, just cross-sell, cross-sell, cross-sell. But most people on the front line need a little bit of a game plan and need to have some strategies that they can rely on. So this is the plan for you. I can't wait to see how your agencies do on cross-selling, and take advantage of it. It launches July 15th. So if you're watching this a few days in advance, because we're pumping it up, mark it on your calendar, watch your email, watch your social media, and you will get alerted on when you can hop on that opportunity. We'll see you then, guys.
All right, next is cross-selling on inbound service calls. So many times service people think, oh, I'm going to get through everything, then cross-sell, or this person wants to get off the phone, or I've got so much to do, I'm just going to do the transaction and talk to them about it later. That's actually the wrong mindset. We need to change our mindset to get to a better place. With that being said, we're going to go through and break down how we can cross-sell on inbound service calls. Hey everyone, Kelly Donahue-Piro here. We're now on to part 3 of 4 parts of how to cross-sell, which is new business, renewal we talked about yesterday. Today is inbound service calls, and the last one is calling out on Monoline customers. So on inbound service calls, what we find there's 2 big traps that people get themselves into, and most of them are mindset. So someone calls in, it's usually a question or a problem. We dive into problem solving transaction mode versus, account management mode. So I call in to make a payment. I think about making the payment versus let me review the account, which means we all have to slow down to speed up. That's one of our big principles. If we slow down, we can look, educate, and encourage, the LEE principle of cross-selling. Now, one big thing I want to make sure everybody understands is when a client calls you, they have time. Because the second biggest trap we find is time. There is a perception that no one wants to be on the phone with us. People don't have time. We don't have time because we've got stacks of other work to do. And all of it may be true, but no client says you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to do this endorsement. It's in our head. And the reality is it does not take long to educate someone. The worst someone says is no. We move the football down the field. We plant a seed. All good things. We help with the agency from E&O. So a 10, 15 second request has no downside, even if you get a no.
even if you get it, I don't have time for it. It still moves the football down the field and betters the agency. So we need to get out of that mindset of time. It's a complete and utter trap, and it's honestly going to stifle your opportunity. And I know everybody on here wants to hit their potential. So if we take a moment, slow down, and even when the client calls in, just say, hey, well, I have you on the phone. Do you want me to do a quick review for any missing discounts or coverages? That's a huge opportunity right there. When they say yes, we get permission. But we definitely have to slow it down. We definitely have to take our time. And most importantly, we have to look, educate, and encourage on those inbound service calls. So I want everybody to take a deep breath today, put your shoulders back and say, I'm not going to take each call as a transaction. I'm going to take each call as an insurance agent and make recommendations. And that can include cross-selling. That's a mindset. That's a mental switch. It's not a light bulb. And we cover this all in our online course on how to cross-sell insurance. I can't speak highly enough about this course because it really breaks down the scripts on how to ask, how to overcome objections. There's role-playing videos, there's quizzes. There's broken down into steps so we go much further than a 3-minute video on how to cross-sell on inbound service calls. And so if cross-selling is on your agency's mind, this is the course for you. And it's not just a course you just put your people in front of and say, hit play. This is an interactive course where you as the leader have a playbook as well. And so I think that if you're interested in cross-selling, because it is a huge way to grow, it's economical to grow because you're not buying leads or spending money on marketing. You're literally taking your team and making them brand ambassadors to get it done. So take a look at that. I highly recommend it. We're doing a special at $495 until the end of the month. And if you have any questions, definitely let us know. But cross-selling's on your mind, now's the time. We'll see you in the next 3-minute video, which is all about how to make outbound calls to Monoline customers. All right, our last video is all on how to make outbound calls to Monoline clients. So if you have a sales team that's maybe looking for some more opportunities, this is a great opportunity. And we even go over some ways to overcome objections, get people to soften up when you first call. So take a listen to this video if you're looking to make outbound calls to Monoline customers. Hey everyone, so we're on our 4th strategy for cross-selling, which is proactively calling outbound to Monoline clients. Now, this could be any time during the year. Maybe you have a producer team. Maybe you have somebody that's really good at this. This is just a great way to start attacking that Monoline book. The first step is getting a list. So we recommend, you might be able to just pull anybody with one policy or look at home no auto, auto no home, or workers comp no GL, whatever you feel is best in your agency. From there, you really need a script. And in our course, we outline what we believe is the best script, because you will find a lot of people who are like, why are you calling? Who are you? No, I'm not interested. And a lot of agencies, when they start this, feel like they're not having any luck because they're not using a script that has a very sales forward approach to get someone on the hook. For example, in a script with any outbound sales calls, even to current customers, you still want to start the call with, hi, is this Kelly? Yes, it is. It's like, how are you doing today? That starts disarming people pretty quickly. And then you can introduce yourself, let them know that, who you are, etc. And we kind of lean into, I have some great news for you. I think you might be missing a potential discount. That's why I want to call and talk to you about it. So the important thing is you follow a good script that leads the person to the best outcome. If you call someone and say, hey, it's Kelly, your insurance agent. I'm calling because where do you have your home? You'll get some people shut down pretty quickly. So you need to have a really strong script, which is included in this course, which again, we're selling for $495 only until the end of July, and then it's going to go up to $1,000, or you can subscribe in our school at $245 a month. And the great news about that is you get all of our other trainings as well. Next up, what you need to do is how to figure out how to overcome objections. People will say, you quoted me in the past, I'm happy where I'm at, I don't have time. You need to have a list of objection killers on that. And we have all that built in the course too. But if you don't want to buy the course, you need to sit down and map them out. There's really only a handful of objections, and you need to test and experiment so that you find the right killers for you. Now, lastly, you need to track everything. It's really important. And if you can't get the opportunity to quote, you at least want to get the X date of when to call, or an approximation. And so you need a way to track all of these calls. It could be something as basic as a spreadsheet, or if your agency is using a CRM tool, that's even better. But don't leave it to chance. You definitely want to leave it to a constructed effort wherever humanly possible. So our goal at the end of the day is to focus on making those outbound calls
And I recommend that you call people a couple times too. We are certainly not of the opinion that you call somebody once and then you're done. We like to call 2 or 3 times and let people know that final time is your final call. People who are interested are going to pop their head up and say, no, hold on, I am interested. I've just been a little preoccupied. So you need to have a good structure and a plan, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. These are a current customer. There's a lot of value in them talking to you. So if it's not working at first, you need to try differently and maybe consider some additional resources. So we believe every agency should have some form of an outbound strategy because it's just the best way to go ahead and attack that book. Just like you have new business leads, these types of leads are equally important because they're a current customer. They bump retention. They also, provide goodwill towards the clients. So anything you can do to get on that Monoline book is hugely important. That's our tips today. We're going to wrap it up in our 3-minute mashup tomorrow, but act soon. The course is only available at $4.95 until the end of this month. We'll talk to you soon. All right, everyone. Well, we hope that you enjoyed our cross-selling videos, and we hope that you do take advantage of our cross-selling course. Again, it's $4.95, available till the end of July 2021. Then the course is going to go up to $1,000 like our other courses on our online school, or you could subscribe and get all of our courses every month for $245 a month. Your choice. You can own it and have it forever, or subscribe and get all of our courses. Any questions, let us know. But we do hope that we see you as a new student in our online school. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.